Good evening. Happiness is a butterfly which, when pursued, is always just beyond your grasp, but which, if you will sit down quietly, may alight upon you. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
Bahrain MPs propose to help the needy using oil fund. BD 100 million medical city with Bahrain's first robotic surgery center to be opened next year. CBSE board exams to return to single format. Saudi demands transparent delivery policies from restaurants. Kuwait announced Eid al-Fitr holidays from 1st May to 5th May.
News in detail. Bahrain MPs propose to help the needy using oil fund. Two Bahrain MPs have submitted a proposal to establish a financial support account funded by oil income for low-income people. $1 shall be deducted from the price of each barrel of crude oil exceeding $40, exported as of the beginning of the fiscal year following the entry into force of this law, according to the proposal by Amar Kambar and Khalid Bouank. The National Health Regulatory Authority licensed Gulf Biotech to manufacture injectable drugs. Gulf Biotech Company has become the second facility to manufacture drugs in the Kingdom of Bahrain. The National Health Regulatory Authority announced that it had licensed the medical firm, which also the first facility to manufacture injectable drugs in the Kingdom of Bahrain. The factory has thus obtained the rights to produce the initial batches of injectable drugs after presenting studies of the produced products and ensuring successful stability analysis for them. The injectable drugs will also be subjected to final inspection to be granted in a Good Manufacturing Practices certificate to start the production and marketing of sterile and injectable formulations. BD 100 million medical city with Bahrain's first robotic surgery center to be opened next year. Bahrain's first robotic surgery center will be set up at the King Abdullah Medical City, which is expected to open next year. The BD 100 million medical city will also feature Bahrain's first stem cell treatment center, which the first set to open soon at the Al Jawahara Center for Molecular Medicine and Inherited Disorders in Sagaya. Bahraini Female Entrepreneur Honor Seal Committee had second virtual meeting. The Bahraini Female Entrepreneur Honor Seal Committee held its second virtual meeting under the chairmanship of the member of the Supreme Council for Women, Her Highness Sheikha Hessa bint Khalifa Al Khalifa. Her Highness Sheikha Hessa appreciated all efforts being made to enrich the Bahraini Female Entrepreneur Honor Seal initiative to support and motivate young Bahraini women in the field of entrepreneurship, develop their creativity and innovation and increase their contributions to economic affairs. The meeting discussed the mechanism for evaluating the nominated works and the upcoming work plan, which will include field visits to the best projects that achieved the highest grades in the first phase, in preparation for the approval of the final grades and the announcement of the winning projects. Illegal parking issue resolved using Bahrain's Tawassul app. Residents of the Al Naim area heaved a sigh of relief yesterday after a complaint filed through Tawassul resulted in a quick resolution to an illegal parking issue that had been unsettling their lives for a long time. People living in the Al Naim area had regular issues with thoughtless parking, preventing them from stepping in and out of their houses. Families said people park vehicles in such a way that their daily activities are always delayed. Parked cars obstructing their way often cause employees to show up late at workplaces and children at schools. Residents through the app requested authorities to install a traffic stop sign at the place in question, and authorities were quick to respond in no time. Officials placed a stop sign as requested by the residents, relieving them. Ahmad Al Khaja Mosque opened in Bahrain East Heath Town. Justice, Islamic Affairs and Endowments Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Ali Al Khalifa opened Ahmad Al Khaja Mosque in East Heath Town. The inauguration follows the order of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, to open and restore 20 mosques run by the Sunni and Jafari Endowments Directorates. The Supreme Council for Environment and the Bahrain Institute for Pearls and Gemstones submit Bahrain's fourth national report on biosafety. The Supreme Council for Environment and the Bahrain Institute for Pearls and Gemstones today submitted Bahrain's fourth national report on biosafety in cooperation with the UNESCO Regional Bureau for Sciences in the Arab states in support of the Global Environment Facility. The report is within the framework of the Kingdom's commitment to the Cartagena Protocol of Biodiversity, emanating from the Convention of Biological Diversity. Commenting, Special Envoy for Climate Affairs and SEA's Chief Executive, Dr. Mohammed bin Mubarak bin Daina, said that the presentation of the report proves once again the Kingdom's commitment to international conventions pertaining to biodiversity, its keenness to support the relevant regional and global efforts aimed at achieving the goals of sustainable development. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
CBSE board exams to return to single format. Students attempting the Class 10 and Class 12 CBSE board exams will need to write just one exam for the upcoming academic year. The exam will return to this format from the 2022-23 academic year, with students giving the exam during the 2021-22 year required to write two sets of papers, one in November-December of last year and the other scheduled for 26th April. Ministry of Education officials said that more weightage would be given to the second round of exams. Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back. Saudi arrested 13,265 illegals in a week. Around 13,265 violators have been arrested in various regions of the kingdom within a week. Those arrested included 8,490 violators of the residency laws, about 3,147 violators of the border security regulations, and more than 1,628 violators of the labor law. Saudi imams are suggested to avoid long supplications in Tahajjud prayer. The Ministry of Islamic Affairs has emphasized that imams of mosques who lead Tahajjud prayer in the last 10 days of Ramadan need to finish it well before the call to Fajr prayer with sufficient break so that worshippers will not be overburdened. The ministry also directed mosque imams to adhere to the Prophet's guidance with regard to the Qunut and other du'as by sticking to the invocations narrated from the Prophet. The ministry called on imams to avoid prolonging the supplications and turning them into sermons. They should avoid exaggerated oaths and rhyming, but should pray with humility and piety. Saudi demands transparent delivery policies from restaurants. Restaurants and cafes are required to make clear and transparent policy in order to deliver to customers. It was stated that any eatery that has a minimum cap on delivery orders must explain it beforehand. Eateries must adhere to 4 criteria. The minimum order policy must be clearly displayed. It must be included on the menu. It must be visible when food is ordered electronically or over the phone. And the order cancellation policy must also be clear. It was also pointed out that no fees must be imposed on services related to customers' delivery orders. Kuwait announced Eid al-Fitr holidays from 1st May to 5th May. The Civil Service Commission announced Thursday that Eid al-Fitr holiday would be on Sunday, May 1st, ending Thursday, May 5th. All ministries and state authorities would resume work on May 8th Sunday, the Civil Service Commission said in a press statement. State authorities with special working hours should arrange their work timing in a manner that would serve the public interest, it added. Ramadan likely to occur twice in 2030. People in Oman and around the world who are observing this Ramadan might be required to fast on 2 occasions in 2030. Ramadan is likely to occur twice in 2030, owing to differences between the Gregorian and Islamic Hijri calendar. Accordingly, those required to fast during Ramadan will do so for 36 days in 2030, 30 days at the beginning of the year in January, and 6 days at the end of the year in December. Dubai auction sets a record for third most expensive car plate number. The first most noble numbers charity auction, which opened bids on special car plate numbers and exclusive mobile numbers in Dubai, set a new record for selling the world's third most expensive car plate number. The iconic single-digit Dubai plate number AA8 fetched dirham 35 million, coming after the AA9 plate number that was sold at last year's auction for dirham 38 million. Biden to host Southeast Asian leaders for May 12 to 13 summit. US President Joe Biden will host leaders of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations in Washington next month for a summit, the White House said. The May 12-13 gathering is meant to demonstrate the United States' commitment to being a partner with countries in the region, Associated Press reported. The White House previously had announced that the summit would be held March 28 to 29, but the regional grouping of countries known as ASEAN sought a postponement due to scheduling concerns among some of its members. The summit will commemorate 45 years of relations between the US and the ASEAN nations. The gathering follows Biden's participation in an October 2021 summit, where he announced $102 million in a new initiative to help these countries with COVID-19 and health security, climate change, economic growth, and gender equality. Chinese astronauts land after 6 months on space station. 3 Chinese astronauts have returned to Earth after 6 months aboard their country's newest orbital station in the longest crewed mission to date for China's ambitious space program. The Shenzhou 13 space capsule landed in the Gobi Desert in the northern region of Inner Mongolia. Shown live on State TV, the Associated Press reported. China launched its first astronaut into space in 2003 and landed robot rovers on the moon in 2013. And on Mars last year, officials have discussed a possible crewed mission to the moon. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayanan, signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.